Hi guys, this is my recap and review of Little People Big World Season 23, Episode 8, called Breaking the Matrix. In this episode, Matt reveals his big secret to sell the north part of the farm after Caryn basically refuses to live in the big house. The drama is unfolding. The episode starts with Caryn and Matt talking about how they're such good friends with Matt and Amy now after the trip to Arizona, and they pull up to the big house on the north side of Roloff Farms. Apparently, someone called KT was living there for a time and now has moved out. According to Matt, he said that when the deal fell apart with Zack, he had sent the family an email letting them know his intent to sell and asked if there were any last-ditch offers, and he said there were crickets. Everyone had moved on, clearing the way for him to sell. I'm sure some family members have different opinions about the email, just a hunch. Now, this is interesting. Matt is asking Caryn in this scene to reevaluate living in the big house because it could save him a bunch of money. So they're just going over to look to see how they feel about it. If she's comfortable, I'm assuming he would not sell this part of the farm, so it's interesting to see this all play out. It kind of seemed like, in this moment, the north side of the farm's fate was in Caryn's hands in a way. And we learn Caryn apparently hates the house. She's calling it dated, she hates the textured walls, and Caryn is especially uncomfortable visiting the master bedroom. She's like, oh dear, not sure I even want to go in there. Matt says he would completely remodel it, of course, but still, Caryn's not sold. I mean, we cannot argue though that this is a nice, huge house, perfectly set for Matt's height. I've always really liked that whole house personally, so it's kind of, I can't believe that Caryn doesn't like it. Next thing we know, Zack is at the park with Lila and Jackson and quote unquote randomly calls Amy to see if they can drop by with Sonic. And he's like, I'm ordering from the app. What do you want? And ends up she wants a bacon cheeseburger. TV gold, I tell you, in this scene. I'm literally thinking this whole segment with Sonic and them picking up their order is, maybe a product placement. Like, honestly, I think so. I could have done without that whole part of them picking up food. Amy and Zack then sit down, eat their Sonic, and talk about whether or not the upcoming baby will be a dwarf. And Zack says his doctor has a theory that he has a gene that basically says that all his kids will be dwarfs. He says, I'm a dwarf breeder, literally his words. Next, Caryn and Matt are at a restaurant, not Sonic. They order pot roasts, and Matt confirms that he wants in his heart to sell the north part of the farm, and they start a list of what needs to be done before selling in May. He says that Zack may be shocked about the price that I'm listing it compared to what he was offered, and that he missed out on a good deal. Ooh, okay. My thought was, this is not a fun statement. I'm sure Zack, watching this scene on TV, would probably like to throw a shoe at the TV. I would. Then he says that when he breaks ground on their new house on the farm, they should get engaged. This was kind of like a pre-proposal over pot roast. Caryn is kind of taken off guard, but seems very happy. I'm sure their wedding will be a whole TV event too. Next, the strangest bromance ever, Matt and Chris get together on the farm to discuss something in Matt's office. And yeah, Chris has his own confessionals now. This is new this season. They go over to the big house to look at how many books Amy still has in there to put in storage. But really, Chris wants to pry about selling the farm or what's going to happen to the farm. Chris asks a straight question. He says, so am I reading into this that the house is going on the market? And Matt just answers honestly. He says yes. And wait, did he tell Chris before everyone else? Because it seems like he told Chris before Amy and likely, or could have been before the kids, but I guess never mind, the email kind of precluded that, so I'm not sure what the timeline is. Chris says that he thinks things are going to change and that the things the kids played on are all going to be gone. So next thing, Chris announces to Amy that Matt is looking to put the house on the market. Amy's face is so confused. She's like, I don't know anyone's going to want to go over there anymore. Probably true. Amy says that she left money on the table when she sold to Matt, mainly because she assumed it was going to go to one of the boys, and she left the farm mainly for that reason, for one of the kids to move in there. That, in her mind, was gonna happen. She says that she may have had made a different decision if she knew this was gonna happen. I mean, can you imagine? I'm sure she's thinking to herself, like, if only I could go back in time, I would just sell my part to one of the kids. At the end of the episode, Tori reveals to Zack that they are having another dwarf baby, and this would be Josiah, who was born in May, and Tori was convinced that this was going to be an average height baby. They talk about how usually when there's an average height person and a dwarf married, they have some average height kids. I think it's like the odds they're saying is like 50-50. So they are kind of like an anomaly, and that Zack may have that super dominant gene or something. Anyways, not sure if they plan on having more kids or if they're done at this point. I mean, they have 3. Their baby, they say, is due in May, the same month that Matt is planning on putting the farm on for sale, and we know this all happened this past May. So, this all happened, I guess, a few months ago. Alright guys, so lots of action with the roll-offs. Let me know what you guys think, and definitely leave a like right now, and leave a comment, subscribe for sure. Thanks guys, bye!